right, there you have it. Getting ready for a little tequila party.
Yeah. Solo cop.
Got Sherrod's small car, Ruiz, the Cuban, Vic Henley, and of course now Ron White and his mom once again.
Yeah.
With some of Ron White's tequila. He's a man of his word.
Well, you know what? It's a great opportunity to spread the love. That's what this tequila is made out of: water, agave, and love, and that's it.
And that is it.
And we believe I believe this is what I'm telling you to be the truth. I believe it's the best drink of liquor of any kind I've ever tasted.
Right.
Which is why. That's why we got it.
All right, and we're gonna taste it live on the air. I also want to say that we are on Facebook Live right now.
That's
Opie
right.
Radio fans on Facebook, if you want to check out the video of us hanging out, drinking tequila, and eating sandwiches from Ruiz.
Oh, yeah.
And specialties out there in Chatham, New
The
Jersey.
best tuna sandwich I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, but Ron was like, "What is that?" He didn't understand.
Explain what it is.
You said it, and I double wowed backed you up, and he was
Yeah,
teasing.
there was a lot of wows going on over
tuna.
a tuna sandwich.
All right. Explain what it's on.
Are we jacking each other up? Is that what we're doing? Or is that a hell of a sandwich?
It's a hell of a sandwich.
I just inhaled that fucking sandwich.
That's the best tuna salad sandwich I've ever
Like a
had.
dinosaur eating a caveman.
They didn't exist at the same time.
I will say this: if it's the best tuna fish of all time, there has to be grapes in it.
What are you talking about?
Boom.
No.
Raisins?
No.
Raisins?
First of all, that's chicken salad.
I do it in tuna fish.
No, you don't.
Yes, he does.
No,
Yes,
you
I
don't.
do.
Why would you do that?
If you had a restaurant, it would be out of business.
I know Ron's mother looked at you like that poor thing.
She's shaking her head already.
Why are you shaking your head?
Because raisins don't go into tuna salad. Sorry.
Sorry.
She's polite about it. Yeah. Unlike these animals. No?
But that was Italian tuna?
Yeah, it's Italian tuna. It comes in a. It's not a jar. It's a jarred tuna.
Right.
That's preserved in oil, and then we render out the oil, and then we make our own aioli, which is like a type of mayonnaise.
Oh.
So we use fresh eggs, and we make a real. So
can
when
taste it.
you can taste it, it doesn't taste like a canned anything.
Yes.
And how far you got to drive to get one of these sandwiches?
Mr. White, you don't have to drive at all. I'll bring it to you.
Right answer.
All right, I'm in Fort Lauderdale on Thursday.
I'm in Cocoa, Florida.
I'm married to 2 11-year-old kids. I'm on my way.
He's great at tagging. He's good with the tags. It's amazing. I was sort of telling Ron off air, but yesterday when we were talking about the George Clooney tequila deal, Ron White broke the news to the nation.
Yeah.
No one had that story yet.
Not yet. It only came out late last night or early this morning.
Yeah, because he came in and said that George Clooney sold his company for $1 billion.
Yeah, that's what I was accurate. I mean,
Yes.
I was talking about a rumor.
No, you were accurate.
Oh no, you nailed
it.
It's a huge story today everywhere.
Tell him his cut. Tell him Clooney's cut.
Clooney's cut,
Him and
according to
Randy.
Stunt Brain and Randy, they get $230 million each.
Of the billion.
Wow.
Yes, they're getting about half.
I'm gonna get some pussy. Tequila's baby. Times are coming, Mom. We're gonna rent the whole thing next time. The whole boat.
I'm gonna get some pussy song in front of his mouth.
We don't want other people, we just need us. So that's fine.
I love how he spun that.
That's crazy.
Because I thought he'd be all bummed out.
No!
He's like,
That means if you guys that, you're gonna get more.
No. That's
We're
nothing but
next.
good news. That sets the value of my
Yes.
company. Now, it doesn't set it that high, but it sets it, and
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
pretty sweet deal.
It's something to rate yourself on.
Yeah, and we've already gotten really shitty offers for people to buy it, and but
you're holding out now.
and we're just that's not what we're looking for.
And yours is much better than the Casamigos, of course.
Well, you're gonna
Yeah,
taste
you'll
it right
find out.
now. You would know the difference, right? You're a
Damn
tequila
sure.
drinker.
We're starting with the best one. Well, I shouldn't say the best one. There's 3 kinds, but this is the most expensive. Aged the longest.
That, right.
This is
Well,
the
Cuban knows as much about the
Yeah.
tequila as I do. So these are if the Blanco, which is not here, wasn't
Sold out.
badass
Couldn't get it. Sold
tequila.
out.
Right.
Sold it out, huh? Oh, sold out too?
Yeah, they said it was the wrong
I'm
brand.
gonna
Just give my credit card back.
I'm getting on the mic. Get on the mic. Say what? What did they say?
I know this is good.
So-
I just want to.
so I asked for-
Hang on, Chris.
So I asked for the number 1 tequila. She assumed it was the number 1 tequila, which they have the number 1, 2, and 3. but it is not the number Juan tequila. So I just took a nice little sprint up to Columbus
look how
Circle.
sweaty he is.
Columbus
Still
Circle and
looks
back.
great though. He's young.
Right?
Not as
Don't
good
feel
as you.
sorry. He's not gasping
He's
for
fine.
air.
I'm gonna send him to
Like I would have been.
give me some cheesecake from
Junior,
and walk across the bridge. Walk the Juniors over the bridge.
It is a genuine small batch tequila, so it's not as easy to find. Really, the easiest way to find is taterstequila.com. Our presence in the city is just not very big. But whenever you guys announce it on Twitter, the tequila that was here is gone. Yeah, because there wasn't that much of it here anyway, and so
That's good to know.
this is kind of a Pappy Van Winkle kind of thing. Except
That's his favorite bourbon. He brought it in here. That's his favorite bourbon. He brought it in here.
$3,000 bottle.
But it's a genuine, rare, small batch thing. It's not
Right.
available unlimited, you know.
you don't want it. If you can buy it every day, don't drink it.
Right. That's right. Buy it when you can buy it and save it and stock it. And,
Yeah, that's it. He brought in the Pappy Van Winkle, and he wasn't paying attention, and then he tricked him with the old Chevy Chase and threw it over his shoulder. He switched it. He had switched it, but Carl really thought that Opie had
he
thrown the
just
Pappy
throws
Van
the
Winkle
Pappy.
against the wall and almost had an aneurysm.
That's cruel. That is flat cruel.
I hate that I had to tell him that I didn't throw his actual.
Yeah, he had to come clean on the joke.
So you're nice on some level down there that made you go ahead and cough it up.
Yeah, I coughed it up.
I was down at the barbecue and I saw one of the Van Winkles and I told him the story. He looks at me and goes, "Who is that asshole?"
You don't be playing around with good bourbon. You know,
Let's
it's not a
pop
toy.
that bottle open,
Yeah,
goddammit.
So
Give
before,
Sherrod
when I open this, I just want to be clear. One thing people make a mistake is añejo and all these. Each one is not better.
Right.
It's lateral, right? So you're paying for time. That's
Yeah,
why
I
it's a little more
definitely
expensive.
have customers that are their preference is Blanco or
Right.
Reposado or Insects or Añejo. So yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah. So that's what
It's all made out of the Blanco. If that wasn't kick
Right.
ass, nothing else would be any
Thank you.
good.
That's
Because this is just
exactly
a
what it is.
byproduct of that.
Ron, and that's exactly what it is. The añejo, like you want to go and you want to try a tequila company, go to their Blanco, and that'll tell you what you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really herbal. I can smell it.
Yeah, it is. Welcome to the jungle.
Wow.
That's
yeah.
nice.
He puts. He put. Don't you? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would.
He puts an ice
You know,
cube.
this is an old
Ice cube?
tequila,
Yeah,
and so I would put a just like one ice cube in it just to open it up, just like a scotch. But
It releases you.
yeah, it
Absolutely,
really
give him one
does.
too.
Release the bees.
Sometimes I'll drink it without the ice cube because then it's still so good.
Well,
it just makes me not drink it as fast.
Yeah, if the bottle's been open for a while, it'll open up by itself.
Right,
It doesn't need
right.
that water, but
Oxidation.
That has the most floral bouquet.
Oxidization. There we go. Oxidization.
yeah, and you can right now you can set your expectations on what this is going to taste like anywhere you want to set them, and it won't let you down.
What
So.
about Mama? No tequila.
Mother drinks tequila all the time. She only drinks number one tequila. She quit drinking Riesling on the rocks about 5 days ago. Well, Mother and I really have literally had our days here have been so busy and so much fun. And so Mother, it's my tendency to get hammered around noon anyway.
Right.
And so this is
Mama's
almost
gonna
evening.
wait.
Mom's gonna hang out for a
She's
little
gonna
bit.
hang out and wait for later.
Oh, did you guys enjoy Butter last night? The restaurant?
And Hello Dolly.
And Hello Dolly?
Hello Dolly was unbelievable. I mean, Bette Midler just absolutely was. It just gave you cold chills to
She's
watch.
a tour de force.
Yeah.
She's
It
a
was.
powerful. It's like a wall of sound.
I felt, how I felt about
Phantom of the Opera.
and Hello
Yeah, we
Dolly.
all heard
I was
what you
like,
felt.
had a little misty going on. Yeah, I was like, sitting next to my mom. A musical in New York, kind of tearing up just a little bit whenever. Hello, because I know that song from my childhood. You know, and
He got
boy,
teary-eyed.
He got to me.
Yeah.
I sing. Other than me and my mother are both cool. After that snooze fest of playing on the opera.
I loved it. So I mean, Phantom of the Opera was wonderful.
Yeah, I am really making fun of that.
I know you are.
Certainly.
Yeah.
But on a 1 to 10, Miss Barbara, or I know you love Phantom, but was this a 10 and the other one might be a 9?
They were totally different. I mean,
Well, sure, the stories, right?
it's like comparing apples and oranges because Phantom is just so iconic and so beautiful music, and Dolly is just in your face fun.
Right.
So that's what I love.
It's true. That's true. It is way more lighthearted and in your face fun. That's well said.
We had a blast, and then we took one of those pedal cars, which, by the way, is the single most expensive way to travel.
Oh yes.
Anywhere in America.
And you don't know until you get in it.
Because they have the little
until
sign.
the end of the ride.
Right.
Yeah,
And some of them are electric. You know, I'll give you whatever if you're really pedaling and spiking.
Are they electric?
That's what this guy. We had lunch at the Plaza. We're doing everything New York this week.
Yeah.
So, and the guy was just telling us. He goes, "Yeah, like most of them are electric, and they'll just act like they're pedaling. But if you watch, if there's nobody in there, they're just cruising down the road."
I can do that.
I'm breaking stories.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I had no idea.
Breaking
They're not
another
pedaling
story.
those carts. They're not.
That is
You're
amazing.
2 for 2. We need you to come in every week.
I just thought those guys were in really good shape because every once in a while they got a few beefy.
I thought they were just really
Sorry,
poor.
Mama, but there's some
guy
beefy
had-
ones
Our guy
that
had
they're pedaling around.
had a little bit of a gut on him. I'm like, well, how do you do that? You know?
Right.
All right, let's go
What?
ahead.
What is how you do that?
I already
taste
say
it.
it's
There you go.
unbelievable.
Yeah, just make sure you taste it and then and let it sit on your tongue for a little bit and
You sound like me on a
enjoy.
date. Thanks, Mom.
I got that.
Oh my God!
The dirty joke of pet. Everybody
I love that she laughed at it.
I love you.
Oh my God!
That's
She
why I
was the
love
only
her.
one that laughed. She rules.
She rules.
I was not going to do a spit take with this tequila. It's too damn delicious. So
Ron, right on, man, for
Isn't it?
real.
It's
Right
so
on.
smooth.
Very
like-
smooth.
What, that's the best.
I'm telling you, there's vanilla in
I
there
had
somewhere.
tequila last night, man.
I go, there's vanilla in here somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't
isn't
know
it?
why I say that, but
So when you
probably
taste,
the bourbon barrel.
when you taste something like this, what you really have to appreciate is a lot of cut corners on how long they age it in the white oak, right?
Right.
You could take this is white oak all day long.
It's bourbon barrels as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
But it's a retired. This is at 5 years, the full 5, right? So this is what you call a 12-year reposado, right? This is they're
From
building.
the time to grow it,
they're building it like a
the
scotch.
plant, yeah, the whole thing.
It's a
5
12-year
years in a barrel.
process. Yeah.
12 years.
So it's basically a Mexican scotch.
Right.
You know what I mean? It follows the same disciplines and everything. And what you get on the top is you see that little flavor of eucalyptus and flower pollen, like that little top.
I got it. I know what you're talking about.
That
yeah.
takes a long fucking time.
It's
You
good,
know what I
though.
mean?
It's so good.
That takes a long time to turn,
Okay.
gasoline into a scotch.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no cutting corners because if you
Because it won't work. It'll stay gasoline, right?
No, not only that, the color will look like Coca-Cola, like a fake sugar
Right.
color.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So
See, that's you mean the darker, not the
Right.
golden rich.
you want that color.
I think you're going to be running Ron White's tequila. I think you know more about his tequila than he does.
You probably just sold more of it than I've ever sold.
Well, I'm
But
telling
thank
you,
you for the kind words. We knew when we brought it over here, we already knew how good it was.
It's
But when
good.
we started winning
It's
medals with
amazing.
it, we were like, well, you don't know if the critics are going to agree with you or if you're crazy or whatever. But
You got to up the production there, Ron White.
yeah,
You gotta get
we're,
more bottles
well,
out.
we got some property across the street. We're willing to.
All right.
We're ready.
I
We're
got to
ready.
get back to the pedicab. So how much was it
I know.
for that short ride? Because it's always a short ride.
Yeah,
Plaza's
well,
like
it says
60,
it says the
down
thing
here, 11 bucks.
$3.99 a minute, and Mother wants to do New York stuff, and that's definitely a New York thing, and it was fun. I mean, he stopped and whenever there was a traffic light,
Yeah.
he got our phones, took our pictures.
pictures,
I had the
yeah.
best pictures I've
Yeah.
ever seen of me and Mother on these things. It's great. I'm not saying it was a bad deal.
Right.
But we get there and it's $105.
Oh!
And, I mean, we had been literally 11
That's why I
minutes.
wanted to ask.
11 minutes, $105. And I said, it said $3.99. And he goes, and then no, it was no. That's if not if we leave that district. And so $105, and I said, well, all right, listen, I don't want to argue with this guy. I said, yeah, I'm sure you'll take $100, right? And he goes, yes, sir, I will take it.
Yeah.
So the next time we used it, we're leaving the theater, right? And it was great. It was at night, and there was a bunch of them there. I said, how much to take us to Route 57? Instead of how much are we going to negotiate? I said, will you take us there? And he said a number. I said no, walked away, and he goes, oh, we'll do it. And so we hop in and pedal away. And it was great,
Yeah,
It's
better
not
than
much
no.
traffic, and, it was
Nighttime.
a holiday, the lights are on.
Yeah.
Took another picture. Fantastic. Show them those pictures, Mother.
I don't have my phone out.
Later in the show.
The first one,
Don't have to do it now.
We're on radio. They can't see these.
She should produce the radio show. She just fucking with you.
The first one we went on to, it was supposed to take us to this restaurant, and we were like 3 blocks away, and he said it's right here. And so we get out, and then we have to go find it ourselves.
Which cost us the pork chops. Because if he would have dropped us off at Butter, instead of making us walk the wrong way, then turn around and ask somebody, try to figure it out, that motherfucker.
It cost you the pork chop.
Yeah, the guy that brought me the weed ended up getting the pork chop.
Yeah. After that happened.
Yeah.
Seamus?
Yeah, Seamus ate the pork chop.
That's hilarious.
And Miss
got the
Barbara's
pork
salad.
chop.
He had a $50 dinner.
That is too
Because
funny.
they had to take off.
Well,
That's $100
they was also a little bit involved. And Seamus left work to help out and was kind of circling, everybody was trying to find everybody.
Yeah.
And it finally all worked out.
Yeah, it was an appropriate tip, and then we went to Route 57 after the play, and ate some great food, and then I went down to the cellar and did a set and had a
okay.
Nice.
But luckily Alex started sending right when we knew he was going to have to give up on the pork chop. We had the shrimp appetizer, which was
Oh, it
amazing.
was amazing. Yes, it
Right.
really was.
And quite frankly, that pork chop probably would have knocked me out during Molly.
I like Molly.
Molly's not gonna knock you out.
Hello, Molly.
I'll go see that play.
Hey, Rashad, you want to go see Molly?
And so she kicked in with
Everyone
the.
rubbing up on.
But right when we thought, oh my God, they're only going to get shrimp and they're going to have to wait till 11 o'clock.
Right,
She comes the mid-course freebies that Alex was comping us with the lobster salad, the mushroom spaghetti, which you thought you were going to hate yesterday.
I loved it.
I told you. I told you.
I'm not, and I am in no way busting on Butter at all. That was spectacular. The place is beautiful, and it was a great experience, and they were very sweet to us. And it just didn't work out. And I woke up thinking about that pork chop and that.
He asked me about it. He sent me a text. He goes, "Tell me what happened to the pork chop." I'm like,
Yeah.
"I made sure it didn't."
I wanted to know. Because if they kept it in the refrigerator, I'd go back over there and eat it. Yeah. On the grill. Mother felt the same way. You know.
What did
Get somebody to bring one over here.
What did Mother have?
No, I had the shrimp. And
She had nothing, just like
She had a
I
salad
I
that
had
she
the
didn't get to
salad
eat.
that I didn't get to
did.
eat.
We all ate. Yeah.
You guys were under the gun.
But they can't. Yeah, when the lobster salad and the mushroom spaghetti and then the truffle burrata came, that saved the day because I knew they were going to miss their food and I just let them. We are all digging in, but at least they got a little something on them.
Right.
And then I sat there and finished my pork chop at a leisurely pace.
And we
But there's deal at Hello Dolly that if you're late, you don't get it.
Yeah, you can't get it.
Yeah, they don't
Ron had forgotten
stop
the
and let you
tickets.
just
That's-
wander in front of Bette Midler.
Wait, Ron forgot the tickets.
Yeah,
Oh,
he left
Ronald.
the tickets at the hotel.
God, Mother, why do you tell people things like this?
I was going to leave that part out of the story.
Show up for this.
Oh,
So how'd you guys get in?
You have to go back?
Oh, it was we're at the
You had to go back?
No, they sent a dude to meet him.
this guy named Christian
concierge?
was his name, Christian, who's a concierge at the Pierre Hotel.
Okay.
Who's the one I talked to on the phone about these tickets, or not these tickets? Oh, excuse me. You spelled it.
Here you go.
I wouldn't care if it wasn't this tequila.
I'll look that right up, sir.
Anyway,
I'll lick it off the counter.
he said, I'll be right there. And he brought those tickets over there. And when we finally got there, huffing away, he was standing there with the tickets.
Awesome.
And,
That's amazing.
And his phone had gone off, so my phone, it was no tickets, no phone.
Phone's dead?
Can't find the goodie
yeah,
man.
no, right. My phone's not even with me. It had 2 minutes on it or whatever.
Luckily, mine was work because they'll tell you a lot of times I don't have mine, and if I do, it's not charged. So if I didn't have this, we wouldn't have had a communication device. But it all came together, and I got like 7 texts in a row at the end. Goes, got it from everybody that was looking and waiting for something.
Oh, no.
Everything came in, and all was happy. And
Everything worked out except for the pork chop.
Except for that.
There's the pork chop.
tobacco smoked. What is it called?
Yeah, that's what it said.
Smoked. I wish I would have known you were the manager at Route 57, Lisa Fernandez. If I knew you were going there, she would have taken care
How about we get Chris to go run over there and
Run over
get
and
a
get
pork
my
chop?
pork chop.
Go, baby.
It's drenched.
It's only 2 blocks. It's only 2
Go
blocks.
get Ron White's pork chop.
Go get it.
Look at him.
Don't do it. Don't call you pork chop.
Is that Liv Gallagher?
You want me to have someone bring
He
my
knows
car?
radio.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
sounds like Ron White has done some radio in his time.
Yeah,
Oh, man, I'm gonna drink some more of this. I have to put this down.
Damn good.
Now I'm thinking about that pork chop.
Really?
He'll come upstairs sometimes. There'll be a bottle in the dressing room, and 90% of the time I'm pretty good about not opening it until he's finished. But then 10% of the time he'll come in the dressing room. And he'll look at Pat's the tour manager that's with us a lot, and he's like, Pat, I told you to quit leaving the tequila along with Henley. So I'll be a couple ahead of him sometimes. Right? Most of the time, not.
Well, you know what? This is, I don't know. It's probably an odd deal. I don't know if it is or not. But my partner and I have a deal with each other that until it makes money, we pay retail for it. So every glass of tequila that I give you, I bought off the shelf at a liquor store. Right. So, and I'm easily our best customer, because I give it away, and but I pay retail for it. I go down to the store and I'll take a case of this, case of this, case of this, and take it to the house, and we pour it pretty freely. So I'm kind of embarrassed that I don't have more of it here in town, but you know, just you guys talking about it on the show.
It's sold.
Look at this.
We running through this bottle like Grand through Richmond.
About done. Right. Hey, Lewis, are you guys allowed to have a shot or what? Fucking pour.
Oh, have some.
Yeah, running around.
But don't shoot this. Sip it. Take
Give
it.
him a cup, give him a
Enjoy
cup.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a sipping.
No, I took Carl's.
Don't take Carl's
I
cup.
took Carl's
I
cup.
was ready to taste
Always steal from the immigrant.
Ready to taste them?
Well, I mean, Vic put all his fingers in my tequila.
Sorry.
Carl,
You can tell Vic grew up with all brothers.
I don't care.
The way he eat and drink.
I don't care.
He just elbows in,
Right.
boy.
got you, man.
You got to, yeah.
I picked up a piece of red onion off the floor over there a minute ago. I like red onion with my turkey sandwich.
That's because it's a good turkey
Because
sandwich.
it's a delicious turkey sandwich with the fresh mozzarella.
Yeah.
Oh, that mozzarella.
This is the weirdest.
I love red onion in the turkey. And
These are the weirdest tacos I've ever seen in my life.
We're gonna have taco
We're supposed
tequila
to have
Thursday.
tacos, Mama.
I know, but I had to. The problem that I didn't get the tacos is I walk into my restaurant this morning, and two employees come up to me and they said, "We got to talk to you." And I said, "Yeah, go ahead." They said, "We've gotten all together and we want a raise, and we're not going to work unless you give us a raise." I said, "Who's in on this? Just bring them all in." So it was three of them. I said, "You three guys, congratulations. Now get the fuck out of here." We're in coming.
As you should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a union
That was
buster.
a coup. A coup attempt.
Yeah, it was a coup attempt.
Ordered a goddamn coup.
And as the one guy's walking out, I said, "Don't ever threaten a chef. I make the food, asshole." You know what I mean? Like,
Why do I feel like this conversation's coming my way soon? I gotta play back this tape.
so we got rid of him, and then I had to hunker down till the show and make.
Did you really just say goodbye?
I don't tolerate that
I know
for
you
a
don't.
second.
You can't pull a mutiny on a Cuban.
Usually the only response to an ultimatum is fuck you.
You know what,
You have to
Pat?
understand, you're talking to a guy that opened a restaurant. That for the first 3 months it was just my wife and me, slicing every sandwich, making every spaghetti, making the meatballs, from 7 o'clock in the morning until we closed at 10, and then my wife would go home, and then from 10 to 1 in the morning I would mop and clean the restaurant.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna come tell me you want a fucking $1? You're dead.
Hey, my road manager owns a bus company that built the bus I'm on, and his kids run it. But this guy came up to him. I thought it was really funny. He goes, this guy goes, how come Carl makes $1 more an hour than I do? And he goes, he makes $14 an hour more than you do because you're fired.
Oh my God!
No, Pat's the best.
Love.
Pat is the best.
Oh my God! I'm stealing that. That is
So good.
Let's put that T-shirt up. So, what do you guys got planned for today, there, Mama?
We're going to go see
Another
the
play?
Mormons tonight.
Oh,
that's
the
right,
Mormons,
the
that's right.
Mormons.
Yeah.
That's going to be the best out of the three, I think.
That's gonna be a great one.
It's going to have to be really spectacular to
You like
Me
the
and Dolly.
last night.
You like
Yeah.
the salty language?
Huh?
Salty language?
With Ron as my son.
Hey, listen, my mother watched my show when nobody gave a fiddler's fuck. A fiddler's fuck about it. Nobody. Not one person but mother thought she would sit there and laugh through the whole thing. She would drive across the nation, her and her husband in her motorhome and catch shows where I'm I'm doing 3 minutes in Arkansas, and they're just in the parking lot honking the horn. You know, let's go.
If my crazy brain serves me right, I think the first thing he did, the Showtime had a thing where they went to clubs around America and filmed the comics in the clubs. A lot of your first credits for comics was called the Showtime Comedy Club Network. She used to carry the VHS copy. She taped his set and would keep a copy in her purse. Right. And just randomly throughout the day, if you ran into Miss Barbara somewhere, she go, y'all got a VCR? You want to see my son? She did the beauty show. It's
grassroots. That's a good parent right there.
Yeah, when I first met him, because we were always talking about, me, him, Foxworthy, and a lot of these guys, we were like, are all our moms the same? Because they went from like, are you really going to do this? Because they've been doing this our whole lives. They just think we're talking shit. They don't think we can make some money out of it.
Yeah.
But in a kind, gentle way, then there's no bigger fan once they see it once, and then everybody was a version of her. Oh, watch this. Oh, calling people. Watch Vic on Star Search. Yeah. Ron's going to be on Evening at the Improv. Ron's going to be on Evening at the Improv. And, and just the same thing. It's community organizing.
My mom doesn't give a fuck.
She doesn't have a copy of
I'm like, Mom, you saw me yesterday? She's like, we need a new couch. I'm like, forget it, Mom.
Carl's brother's one of the best.
Cardiothoracic heart surgeon. He's a real piece of shit, too.
He works on babies.
Yeah.
Like a piece of shit, a genuine...
He's a genuine piece of shit.
So he's in it for the money.
No. I mean, no, he's a great doctor. I mean, but outside of that...
Piece of shit.
Oh, God.
He's an overachiever.
And I trust he already knows that he's a piece of shit.
Oh, I tell him all the time, George, you're a big piece of shit.
Okay.
Well, we talked about it. We talked about it that his brother has to be on the spectrum to do the job he does. Because a lot of the kids that he operates
Nobody
on,
touch.
They end up dying.
Yeah, only 10% of survival.
Yeah.
So he's dealing with a kid that was born with only 10% live, and there's my brother doing heart surgery on a kid.
So you have to.
You know how many parents he's told no good.
So you have to be missing something in your brain to take that on as a profession. I think.
Career.
Maybe you have something in your brain that makes you deal with that kind of trauma.
I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think he's a complete piece of shit. I think the guy's got at least some redeeming qualities.
He's operating on babies he knows gonna die. And he's all right. I think you're going to a weird level with him.
Gotta take something out of your life.
He's all right. For a piece of shit, he's all right.
He's teeth.
He's a good kid.
No, Jesus Christ.
He's very different than Carl. Carl's got the personality in the family.
But
Vic was telling us Ron White stories outside the building. I think you wanted me to remind you of the drive-in theater. I didn't want to give away that.
Steve told me this one time when we were hanging out. Steve was his best friend. We lost him to cancer a few years ago, and they'd known each other for 50 years at that point, right? And I was on the bus one night, and Miss Barbara's in town, and they were telling a story about the drive-in movie showing porn.
Yeah. It was a porno drive-in movie. Yeah.
How is that like in the open air?
It was possible because it was the 70s.
Big highway and a side street. I mean, you could see it from everywhere.
Well, there was a fence.
Really?
But if you got it the right level on the freeway, you're that's 70 foot.
Crazy.
70 foot.
70 foot penis.
I'll tell you.
She doesn't care.
I know.
I'll tell you the story. Right behind it was the roller rink, and so behind the roller rink, now you're facing the porno thing. Well, there's a big fence and a little fence and a shrub. Right. So we're 8 or 9 years old or 10. How old?
You were about 10 or 11.
10 or 11.
And I had dropped them.
Yeah, because you're dropping us off at the place and leaving, so we may have been 11 or 12. So what we did though is as soon as Mother dropped us off, we go out there, climb over the one fence, then there's a row of bushes, then the other fence is set up higher on posts, and it goes way up. Yeah. So you go over the short one and then watch under the big one in the bushes, and you crawl in there and beat off. And
that's a lot to do for beating off.
I must have been 23.
Except Ron got caught.
I did. And what happened was they started finding, I don't know, cum stains or whatever you find back there.
A baby. They found a baby back there.
Other kids are doing it too. We got to turn some people on to the other side of the fence. It's bushy.
It's Blueberry Hill.
Right. And, it was a neighborhood thing.
Why are they busting anyone?
So,
crazy.
So one night, I get over the fence, my other buddy's over the fence, and my buddy Steve that he's talking about, he gets his pants stuck on the, it's, just a corrugated tin wall there, and he gets hung up, and there was a cop coming down there on the other side, on the porn side. Maybe he was looking for us, but he hits Steve with the flashlight, and he goes, "Halt, right there!" And Steve just falls on the other side of it. While he's doing it, he goes, "Run, run!" And I start running, but I got nowhere to run to. I'm literally inside the big fence in the porno drive-in parking lot, and I'm kind of a chubby kid. I don't have a lot of high-end speed, and I'm easy to catch, is what I'm saying. And anyway, and the cop just yells at me, and this whole parking lot is crushed shell. He makes me take my shoes off and my flat feet
and walk
and run out of the place through the main door, and his cop's behind me jogging. My feet are getting cut. I'm running, and then the guys that are at the ticket thing, as you come in the drive-in, they start squaring off, and I was like, "He already got me!" I thought they were going to tackle me.
Right.
So I, like my son, am a great confessor. Right? And I always have been a great confessor to my mother. And
I'm that same way too. Yeah.
And so basically I went home and told Mother exactly what happened, and she was just snotting. She was laughing so hard.
You picked your battles with your son, because most of it was hilariously funny, but you couldn't. If he did something I was really going to get mad about, then I couldn't get mad about something that I'm going to sit there and laugh
about later. Right.
Oh, that's a good way to look at it.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah, it's very fair.
No, I was.
What movie was it?
It was Peaches Goes to the Logging Camp. And it was a great film. I'll tell you the premise. Peaches didn't know where her daddy was,
right?
But she knew he was at a logging camp somewhere.
It sounds like one woman's struggle to find herself.
To find herself and her father. And all the perils.
All the perils
of a really hot chick going around the logging camps wearing almost nothing. So
it's eat, pray, suck it.
Yeah. And I believe the button mistresses from Vaselina was a double feature. And this show's spectacular. I mean, spectacular. What they do is they lubricate. Anyway.
Way better than Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, Lord. That's what it needed. It needed just a touch of button mistresses from Vaseline to spice up the Phantom of the fucking Opera. That's what it needed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have fallen asleep during that, would I?
I don't think so.
I've been glued to it. Pass that tequila down.
Hey, Mama, when did you know Ron White was going to be a comic?
Well,
and a successful one at that. Obviously, you knew early on, like Vic was saying.
Yeah, well, I followed him all over the country.
But as a kid, when did you know
he was? I never really thought of him as being a comic on stage and all this.
Right.
Ron had the ability to talk himself into any job that came along. He couldn't keep it.
He'll get in the front door.
That story. I just got kicked out of the Navy, and I'm living on Mother's couch, and she's sick of me.
And how old were you?
So I got up.
19.
Okay.
Yeah,
and I'd already been kicked out of the force.
Kicked out for what?
Yeah.
Espionage?
No.
So anyway, I got up that morning and I told her he was there, and I said, "Now, when I come home tonight, you better have a job," because I was getting sick of all this. I was living single at the time, and so anyway, I go to work and I come home.
I was cutting in on her action.
You was fucking up the flow. Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, you heard it.
Mama needed to live too, Ron.
Yeah, that's right.
So anyway,
living room smelling like farts when she goes.
And I'm smelly. I don't even bathe that often.
Go ahead, Barb.
Sorry.
Okay. Are you going to let me finish this?
No, go right ahead, Mother.
Anyway, the telephone rings, and it's the Holiday Inn from around the corner. And they said they wanted to speak to Ron, and I said, "Well, he's not here right now. Can I take a message?" And they said, "Well, we hired him as a chef, and he's supposed to be here to prep." And I said, "You hired him as a chef?" I said, "He can't even boil water." And So anyway, we had this conversation, and Ron comes in a little bit later, and I said, "Why did you get a job as a chef?" And he said, "Mother, you told me I had to get a job. You didn't tell me I had to keep it." And on, I was kind of more careful about the way I worded it.
Yeah. It's all about stacking words. It's all about
semantics.
It really is. I got a question for Barbara coming in from Dick Cox, our pal Dick.
That's a real person.
That's a real name. Supposedly, he calls a lot.
He sent the plant.
Dick, what do you got, buddy?
Gentlemen, Opie, you're a genius because you took my question, boss.
I took your question.
What's the question?
Oh, okay.
That's going to be a comment.
Oh, all right. And you didn't hang up when your whole thing. I'm a shot out of the sky.
And give someone else a chance.
But I wanted to thank you for your service, Mr. White, and your comedy.
Oh well, thank you very much for considering it service and. But the comedy part worked out great. And no, I'm not, at all ashamed of my, the things my relationship with the U.S. military. Even though it didn't work out with me as one of them that very well.
But you gave it a shot.
I certainly gave it a shot. And,
those troop specials worked out. That was a big give back.
Well, and it's still in my heart to this day. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Is that it?
Okay.
Thank you. It was my pleasure, believe me.
Them checks coming in.
She's granted. Most of the time.
Yeah. I met Mother's husband for 30 years, my stepfather. I literally, the first time I shook hands with him, where was I, Mom? Don't you remember?
No, not really.
I was in the Cold Springs jail.
Oh my God, yes.
I shook his hand through bars.
What?
Oh, nice to meet you. Hey, did they ruin my puka shell necklace? I had a really nice
Holy shit.
puka shell. Do you remember now? You, at one of your first dates, I got thrown in jail for pot up in Cold Springs, Texas. And
it was for graduation.
For graduation. And
What?
Yeah. And called Mother, and she got to get in the car with her new boyfriend.
Sunday afternoon.
Drag him all the way up to Cold Spring, Texas, which was 3 hours or something like that.
And we had only been dating like 2 days.
No!
Right.
Oh, you trying to ruin Mom's time, man.
I wasn't trying to ruin it. I need to get out of jail. And I'm the great confessor, so I had to tell her I was in jail. And
I would have left him in there for at least a couple more weeks of dating.
Right. And I had to come up with all this money for jail money on a Sunday afternoon. So
we're square now.
What was his name?
We're square.
I met him.
Ernie
Yeah, I told you. No, I was with you when we got the bad news. I was working with you when I got the bad Ernie news on that. Boy, yeah, we drank 2 of those that night.
Yeah, we did.
And you ended up with that guy for 30 years?
38 years.
38 years.
Yeah.
And that's a hell of a way to meet him, Ron White.
Yeah, right.
Through the
I
bars.
know, right. That's amazing. That's the one she's going to keep. She was going through men like butter.
Not the restaurant.
Yeah, I was better looking back then.
Mother
Oh, you still there,
You still got it, Ma?
Still got it. Mother looked like Elizabeth Taylor her entire life, and she was one of the most beautiful women alive. And boy, when she got a divorce from my dad, they were flocking over to the house. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like my baseball coach here, too? Hey, coach.
You too, Mr. Wilson? You too?
Want to throw the ball around? No?
Mama, though.
Right. I'm playing right field last 2 innings every game. Not because he's seeing a lot of fucking potential.
All of a sudden.
Your mama sure do care about your education.
What are you guys eating tonight? You got more, man, and what else?
We're going to the Baccarat Hotel.
Yeah, we got to go have their drinks.
And we're going to continue drinking there. Then we're going to hit the Book of Mormon.
Right.
And then we're going to go on a carriage ride.
Oh, horse carriage.
A horse carriage ride, because that's another thing Mother wants to do.
Part of New York.
So we had that to the other place, and the helicopters, and the great restaurants, and
wow,
we've had
been good.
You come to New York, come to New York, and bring your mom,
and
show her some fun stuff to do.
So much culture here.
Really, this town rocks. I didn't take to it like Vic did. Vic moved here 30 years ago from a small town, Alabama, and he wouldn't have anything but New York City, and I never got it because I come here
I come here broke and you know, and doing short sets, you know, in the club, barely able to get it, and didn't like them anyway, and so it took a while for me to fall in love with this town, and then started playing Radio City, which me and Vic did together.
Oh
so,
God, on my birthday.
Wow, Vic's birthday.
He knew 7 months in advance because they booked that far in advance. And so in like March, I'm walking, and he goes, "Isn't your birthday October 3rd?" I go, "It's the 2nd." He goes, "Let's pretend it's the 3rd and do Radio City."
So we pretended. I was still pretending until you ruined it, right?
Well, you knew he was within a day. He was within a day. You know, I'm not gonna buzz you.
That's
Sure, man.
that's close enough.
You know,
close enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a good town, though. There's a lot of culture here, a lot of things to do.
But how is Ron White keeping up with you? You got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
You're running them all over this.
Well, that's why he needed to be okay to bring her here. They were going. She's been to Russia. How many cruises you been on?
About 20.
Nice.
But,
Different parts of the world.
I've been to Russia twice, and so.
Did Trump send you?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lovely.
You wanted to be a friend, I thought.
She don't like no Trump.
Here come the calls.
No, it was it's been a fun life, and Ron, you know, has helped make my life so much more, you know, than it would have been.
Yeah.
If he hadn't become
And my
famous.
life wouldn't exist if it wouldn't be for you.
Yeah,
So that's the cool of it. Hey, listen, who doesn't wish they could do what I do for my mother?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So
Bravo.
I do it, and the blessing of the whole thing is that I can take Mom along, and you know that's that makes it all worth doing, and it all makes it worth doing.
It's fun.
It's amazing.
What was your favorite part of the world that you saw? What's your favorite place?
You know, I love Belgium.
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 Yeah. I love
Why? For what reason?
It's just so laid back and beautiful.
Yeah.
And I've had a great time there. I think it's fun.
It's really nice.
It's
It's like a dollhouse.
It's like a dollhouse.
She spent a lot of time in Brussels.
Yeah, Brussels.
Right after the divorce, with a bunch of cash in her pocket.
Oh, Mama got a groove back in Brussels.
She looked down and away for a second.
We don't have a lot of stories or
only
pictures
knew,
about those
if you only knew.
Brussels that Brussels time.
But it's been a fun life. I've had a lot of fun.
Still doing it too.
And still doing it, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I
Very cool.
get up every morning and thank God I'm here.
Yeah, we all should.
Me too.
Me too.
And my mom's the same. My mom's a year older, so she called me today. Right before I was coming down here, I didn't have time to call her back, and I got the voicemail a few minutes ago. I thought you were going to call me. It's your mother. Like, I don't know who it is. Like, I don't know. She still says, it's your mother.
My mother does that to me too. If I don't return her phone call right away,
Oh, yeah.
well, I guess you're not calling me back anymore.
That's what, yeah, same thing. Same thing. They're very
Well,
similar.
you know, you send a text to Ron and nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it takes like
If
half a second to
if
say,
it's a
okay.
question, if it's not a question, then I got nothing to say.
Right.
It's just a
You gotta
statement,
acknowledge.
and I just look at it and go, now I know what it is you said, and I'm sorry.
I like it.
I wanted to agree with him.
No,
that's
no.
the truth,
I
though.
like it. No.
Did you get my
Yeah,
text? I got your text.
Acknowledge it. It's your mom. Acknowledge
No,
it.
I'm just talking in general
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
And I'm like, all
2
right.
seconds to
2 seconds.
acknowledge it.
Yes.
All right. I
Send a smiley
Seconds out
face.
of your life
Sure.
is
Right, so yeah, anything.
Anything.
Right. Steaming pile of shit.
It's no matter. She'd be like, that's my boy.
At least you know.
I'm assuming it's a
I
flip
know,
phone.
exactly.
Well, we haven't talked about the tequila in a while, and that bottle's just about done.
Gone.
It's
No, well, come on. There's a little.
I'll take a
there's
little.
more for me.
Sure, I'll
Okay.
take it.
If you got it, all right.
Now, what does Alex recommend? Alex is his brother-in-law, who is the chairman of the company.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Alex, can Alex call in? And,
Yeah, of course.
What's his rules are which one's for shooting?
None.
No, I thought he said the Blanco if you had to.
If you had to, yeah. But even the Blancos are sipping tequila.
He likes the Blanco and the margarita though, right? Or
Well,
I'm
yeah,
gonna fuck this up. Let's just get home.
we won't put the Repo or the Extra Añejo in
In a margarita.
a soda pop based
You could call him on speaker and put right next to the mic and begin.
Or give us the number.
You see, you want to do the hotline real fast?
We can do that.
I don't know. Let me see if he's even. I'm spitballing.
He's somewhere conditioning his hair.
No, I told him we were going to be talking about tequila
We need
on
10 trucks coming
radio.
to New York that is filled up with all these bottles.
Hello. I hear you.
This will work. Just put it right next to the mic.
Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Talk loud.
Hello, test 1, 2.
All right.
So anyway, this is my brother-in-law, Alex Ramundo, my partner in Number One Tequila, my friend for 30 years, who also does stand-up, and we've...
Poorly.
That
was me, Alex. It's Henley.
Vic Henley's over here slamming you. Because he's got nothing better to do. Oh, my problem is I'm listening to you through a radio. Anyway, we're over here drinking our tequila, and I can barely hear you, and Mother's here. Call back on my...
Don't give that number out.
No, I'm getting drunk and belligerent.
Hey Ron, why don't we do this? We'll take a break. We'll give him the hotline and do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, do it right. He's great.
Let's do that.
I'll take
Let's do that now.
Yeah, we're gonna text you the hotline.
Take a quick break.
All right, yeah. So Ron, where do we get the tequila online again?
TatersTequila.com. I'll jump in there.
TatersTequila.com.
TatersTequila.com. They will send it to your house.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, I love hating things. I hate things for a living. That's good.
That's good stuff.
Oh, that's so
It's
good. I love it.
I went to
It's just smooth as silk.
They nailed the bouquet, and that's the hardest thing.
That's the hardest thing, the bouquet.
Because if you don't get the bouquet right, it goes from tasting from like tequila to medicine.
Yes.
Right? So you're right. You don't have all the luxury of scotch.
You don't drift over
you
into
don't have-
rubbing
you're not-
alcohol.
You're not
Yes.
roasting
Yeah.
peat.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Where you
Right.
can really tweak it. You know, tequila. If the plant's wrong, you're fucked all the way through.
Right.
And that's Carl. Carl brought the sandwiches in from Ruiz.
Maurice.
Which are outstanding.
Reese.
Tuna fish sandwiches that can make people swoon. I'm telling you. I saw swooning. I saw swooning.
That should be a quote.
I wanted to eat half of it and lay on the rest of it. As a friend.
All right, why don't we take a quick break? We'll continue with Ron White and his mom. We got Vic Henley, the Cuban, and Sherrod Small. Stay there.
You got it. Excellent. Wanna have a smells up?
I'm coming down in Ruiz on Sunday.
So
Whatever you want.
That was great.
Oh, that was great. Where are you from?